Welcome everyone to episode 20 of Raw Sport. My name is Ahmed El Houli, and as usual, Mr. Tony Sheen joins me on the show. Tony, how are you, buddy? How's things?
Ahmed, good morning. We usually say good morning on a Tuesday, but we're getting it fired up, and it's a Monday morning. We can't wait to get stuck into our next guest.
We have a huge guest, the man, the legend, Mr. Anthony Mundine. How are you, brother? How's things?
What's going on, my boys, my brothers? Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh, man. I'm going good, man. Alhamdulillah, everything's going good. Alhamdulillah, I'm healthy, so all praise Allah, man.
Choc, where do we find you this morning?
I'm in Sydney.
Choc, where do we find you this morning?
I'm in Sydney. I'm actually going past St. George hospital, private hospital. I've been for my 8K run already this morning. I've done that. Alhamdulillah. So I stay fit, I stay active, and I'm going to pick up another friend of mine and just go and see Nathan Merritt at the hospital, and then going to eat some lunch and just have a relaxing day.
Just before we go on and I hand you over to Ahmed, Nathan Merritt's the former South Sydney Rabbitohs player who found himself in an uncompromising position over the weekend. Is that right?
Choc's must have some bad signal there.
It might be because he's down near his old haunt in St. George. I was actually wondering whether, when he talked about St. George Hospital, whether that was where he was born.
Well, very good question. But hopefully he'll be able to join us again. Let's see if we can try and bring him back in, because he's just cut off there. Stay with me. We will be. Here he is.
Is he back?
We'll bring him back in. Let's see if we can bring him back into the coverage. I think we have lost him. Unfortunately, he must be going through some bad signal. But anyway, we'll keep going until we bring him back on. So it's been a big week in terms of it's been more around the whole trade table. It's been a very quiet week in regards to what's been happening, and I think our man's come back. Here we go. Choc, you're back, brother.
I don't know what's on my phone, man. I think Asia is playing with my phone, boys. I'm telling you, bro. Because my phone's been messing up. I'm a bad man, cuz. You know what I mean? I'm a truth seeker, brother. You know what I mean? They don't want the truth, bro. They don't want the truth. The truth's like a rock. They're throwing to a pack of dogs. The one that hits past the loudest. And they're barking, bro. They're barking.
I was hoping we weren't going to politicise this sports podcast.
It's all good anyway.
I'm political. I'm the greatest athlete ever been produced, not just only in Australia but the world. No one's done what I've done. No one's got my resume. That's it. Full stop.
Choc, let's talk a bit about your journey.
Hey, Ahmed, sorry to interrupt. Can I just digress for one moment? Choc, before we go into the hardcore stuff of Anthony Mundine and what you've achieved, can you give us a quick update on Nathan Merritt, the NRL star, who is in a certain predicament right now?
Yeah, he's pretty pretty stable. He's sort of still in a coma. I think he's induced a coma. So I want to go to the hospital. I'm on my way to the hospital now. I want to eat some lunch and go to the hospital and see how he's going. But I'll let you know an update after I get there.
Well, our thoughts and prayers are with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a great man. It's just unfortunate that things can happen like this, man. You just got to be grateful for every day and being blessed to wake up.
100%. Choc, let's go back in time, pal. I mean, you started your journey in the world of NRL rugby, and then you moved over into the boxing world, which is quite a transition. Very structured league, very organized league, to the boxing world, the world of chaos. Take us through that time, Chock. Like, what was it like moving from NRL to boxing? Take us behind the scenes, brother.
Well, at the time, it was pretty easy because what was going on, and me being who I was, like very outspoken, very confident, and someone who believes in his ability. But in saying that, I never was in any scandals. I never was sleeping anybody's missus or drunk nights or whatnot. I never had any stuff with alcohol or drugs or anything like that. I just was confident, and I expressed that, and I called out racism, called out for justice, and the reason why I didn't get picked for the national teams, the coach actually, if you go back and have a look through the archives, the coach at the time, Chris Anderson, said I didn't get picked because of my off-field characteristics. Now, off-field characteristics like what? I had no scandals, I had no drug problems, no drinking problems. What? I was confident. I was a confident black fella, Muslim, alhamdulillah, proud Muslim, and
Alhamdulillah.
they didn't want to give me that. They wanted me. I reckon they wanted me to show that they were in power, and they picked me when they thought would see fit. But I should have been picked from '96, and I was the best, brother. Like, I was the best. I was a bad boy. Fitness and Dailies, they're great players. I'm not going to never deny that. But at the end of the day, I beat their team every single time, and their team never beat my team, and I outplayed them every single time. So, it hurts. It hurts when I talk about it because that's what made me fall out of love with the game. So it was easy to transition to boxing. It was easy to be my own boss. It was easy to say what I wanted to say and not be gagged or whatever. You know what I mean?
Hey, Chock, speaking of your NRL career, do you know it's 30 years this year since you started playing NRL?
Yeah. 93. Yeah, I made my debut in 93. 30 years. And I swear to God, boys, Allah's my witness. If I trained and dedicated to myself to the game today, I still kill it today.
Well, you think you'd be able to compete with Latrell Mitchell and Cody Walker?
100%. I'll be faster than Cody. Easy. I'm a beast, guys. I'm a beast.
Well,
I don't age, brother. I don't age, young brother. I don't age. You know what I mean?
Well, how old are you? 47?
48, baby. 48. And looking, feeling great. That's what I am, baby. Age ain't nothing but a number, bro. Age ain't nothing but a number. I swear to God. I'm getting younger. I wish I had this knowledge. I wish I had this experience, seasoning, especially in boxing. Like now, if I was like a fighter, if I had that drive and that hunger to be champion now, I could be world champion again today. But I don't have that drive. I don't have that hunger. I've done everything I wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's incredibly admirable. Now, today is the AFL's Mad Monday. It's when recruiters and list managers have their start of season Mad Monday rather than the players have their Mad Monday. Now, you were traded from St George in, I think, 95 or 96. Take us through what it's like.
Sorry, go on. I was the best in the league. I was one of the highest paid players at the time. But I wasn't traded. I just got more money elsewhere, and I signed with Super League. Well, I signed 2 contracts. I signed a Super League contract. I signed the ARL contract. That's why I didn't play for Australia in the Super League, because I was going to court to find out what league I belonged to. And at the end of the year, they said you got to go back to the original competition, which is the ARL. But they formed back together as one anyway. That's when I went back to the Dragons. I was a free market, free agent again. So basically, what we're talking about.
So in terms of, I mean, yes, it's the AFL's trade day today where all the recruiters kick off and transfer players. And I'm not suggesting that you were traded, but you chose your own destiny. But take us through what it's like moving clubs for your will and against your will?
Yeah, I mean, depending on the circumstance, if it's for your will, it's probably better. If it's against your will, it'll be daunting. It'll be, you know, I mean, you don't know where you're gonna end up. You just got to make the most of it, and especially for these young AFL boys, I know there's a lot of talent coming through. I mean, I think I think the AFL is a great game, man. It's very. I hate to play it because you don't know where you're gonna, what side you're gonna hit from. You know?
That's why it's the best game in the world, brother.
Oh, but you don't know what side you're gonna hit from, so you have to be very careful. But you know, they just got to make the most of where they go, where they end up, and just rip in and try and give the team that they're going to some legs to make it to the final.
Chock, we know you're a fan of AFL. Did you watch the grand final? Did you watch your brothers Bobby Hill and Charlie Cameron?
Yeah, I watched a bit of it. Yeah. I always watch the grand finals, man. NRL, AFL. The boys done well.
But what, I know your boys did well, but what did you think about the game as a whole?
Great game, man. It's a great game. It's a spectacle, you know what I mean? It was a great game.
Wow, Chock, let's look at the state of sports in Australia right now. Okay, you were paid back in the day a good sum of money. If you look at what players are getting paid today, I wouldn't say there's too much of a difference, really. Are players underpaid?
I believe so. I believe they're underpaid. I mean, back in the day, man, back in '97, bro, I got $750,000.
Yeah.
That's like 1.5, 1.8 million today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're definitely getting underpaid. And the best players in the world are getting maybe 1.2, 1.3. You know what I mean? So, I don't know about the AFL, they might be getting 1.5, but I believe that they're definitely getting underpaid. The amount of money and revenue that the AFL and the NRL make, certainly not looking after players the way they should be.
Why do you think that is the case, though? Like, if there's so much money coming in, why wouldn't you pay the players more, put them on more money, give them more marketing contracts, put them in front of greater audiences? Wouldn't that benefit the game?
Is he frozen again?
Yeah, he's gone for a bad patch of reception again. Maybe it's it's his friends.
Well, thus far he's been sensational. He's been open. He's been giving. There he is.
He's back. Yeah, Chock. You hear me?
I said it was.
We lost you there, mate.
Can you hear me? I'll pull over in a minute.
Yeah. So
I said greed's the problem. Greed.
Okay. Greed.
But are you talking about from a player's perspective or a game's perspective?
Game. The players should be getting paid more, bro. The players are the spectacle. The players are the entertainment. The players are, the circus that everyone wants to go see. You know what I mean?
It's a really good point. So would a Payne Haas or a Latrell Mitchell or who would be the highest paid player in the NRL?
For me,
Yeah.
as a former player and what I see and who brings the most value to a team, I think that Nathan Cleary is one of them, and Cameron Munster is the other.
And what would they be earning?
They should be on 1.5 minimum.
It's a really good point.
Interesting. Hey, Chock, if you were put in as the NRL CEO today, what changes would you make to the game, if any? we're having a hard time with reception today.
Well, we can see him, but we can hear him. We can't see him.
Yeah.
You there, Chop?
I'll go. I mean, I never left. But
All right.
Ahmed, re-ask the question.
Did you hear my question, or would you like me to repeat it?
Repeat it, brother. Repeat it.
If you were made NRL CEO today, what would you do differently, or would you keep the game the same?
What would I do differently? I'll probably I just find a way. I bring back the old game. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah, we're really struggling with
Ahmed, is it my connection or Chops?
shoulder barge
no,
to
it's
the game.
Chocks.
Connection.
That's better.
There it is, much better.
That's much better.
You there?
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Can you hear
We didn't get any of your answer. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
For me to make the game better, you have to bring back the shoulder barges, the stuff that's going to bring entertainment to the game. Have a little bit of beef. Let them get away with a little bit more, as far as head eyes, but not obviously pull them up, but don't be as don't be as don't send them off for 10 or send them off for good. Be a bit more lenient towards certain things, just to keep the game entertained.
Yeah. So would you say the game has gone softer as a whole?
Yeah,
as a sport?
100%, brother. 100%. Well, back in the 80s, bro, you can head eye a bloke off the kickoff, and you still be on the field. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And you can there'll be half a dozen dudes punching on, and the ref will just pull it up. Come on, boys, settle down. Let's go again. Let's go back at it.
Why do you think that these changes were made? Do you think is it because of the concussion only, or there's broader implications?
I don't know, man. They're soft, man. Soft. I know what they're soft, bro. You know what I mean, there's gonna be concussions, man. It's footy. Like, fuck me dead. Like, we're not playing marbles here, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey, Chock, you're spot on, because it's what the fans want. I don't know why the governors of our game changed that.
They gotta fucking bring it back, mate. They gotta bring the biff back. They gotta bring the, be more lenient with head eyes. Be more lenient with everything. You know what I mean? Bring the shoulder cards, the Sonny Bills back in the game. You know what I mean? Like, we want that. The fans want to see that shit. They want to see. As much as we don't want to say it. I mean, say it, or the people want to say it. We don't want to see. We don't want to, pain and hurt. But people want to see that shit. That's entertainment.
Is CTE ruining the game, both AFL and NRL?
I believe so. I believe it's not making it as entertaining, and they're losing a lot of fans because of it.
Hey, Chock, the other thing is I want to talk to you about the NRL in terms of Homebush Stadium. Do you think they should remove that as a stadium for the NRL and play games back in the city?
Which one? The SFS?
They say the SFS, the new one that's been built at Moore Park. Do you think that should be the home of rugby instead of having, say, South Sydney and or the Roosters play games out at Homebush?
I believe so. I mean, I believe because the areas south, I mean, Redfern and Alexandria, they're around the city. You know what I mean? They're closer to Moore Park than Homebush. Like, going out to Homebush, like, nearly halfway out west, and I think they should be played at home, like where they're from.
Yeah, but what about Manly? Should they play their games at the SFS as well?
Who's that?
Manly.
Yeah, only the finals. I think the finals. I played in the 90s, 96 especially. We played all our games in the city at the SFS, and that was the best place to play and the best for the fans.
Interesting. Choc, let's look at the one question for you is about the state of boxing in Australia right now. Where do you think boxing is at right now? Are we in a good place?
I think we're in a good place. We're always going to have young fellas coming up and taking over and being the, like holding the torch for this era. You got Georgie Cambosas,
Tim Zoo,
young Tim Zoo, Paulie Akuso that's coming through. Got a lot of young kids, a lot of young talent. So I believe we're in a good place. You know what I mean?
Why do you think governments have held back funds and funding to amateur boxing if you compare them to other sports? Because if you look at other sports and how much money goes into them, and then you look at boxing, it's non-existent.
Yeah, man. But yet, if you can be like the man, you can. It's the most generated sport that you can generate. I mean, I made 35 million in my career. Name one AFL player or football player has done that.
None.
No one.
Not many, if any. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, there's none, bro. There's none. Let's just say there's none. No one's done what I've done. Period. Full stop. I'm the most baddest, most flamboyant, most explosive, charismatic athlete there's ever been. Not in this time and that time, but of all time, boys. You know what I mean? It's just good for you to talk to me. It's like I'm giving my time to right now. But I like you fellas. Alhamdulillah, my Muslim brother. I love you brothers, especially my Muslim brother. But Tanda, I love you too. But we gotta bring you across, cuz, you know what I mean?
No, I appreciate the love, Choc. Now, do you see an AFL player or an NRL player or any other person in Australia to be able to achieve what you have done in both sports?
Never. But there's a reason why I played for St. George. There's a reason why. Because they won 11 premierships straight, You know that in history. 11 premierships straight. That'll probably never be done again, right? Penrith's on free. I doubt they'll get full. But anyway, I played for St. George for a reason because my career, what I've done, what I've achieved, never before, never again. It won't happen again. I'm one.
We lost him again, unfortunately.
Who's streaming? Is it Choc's or is it mine or yours?
Ours seems to be fine. Maybe it's Choc's. But even though it's signalling that his reception is good.
He's been saying some outstanding stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We're getting into a decent conversation there too. So hopefully we can have him back. Yeah, I mean,
I loved his commentary about CTE and how that the game was being filtered or stymied because of the fact that the game isn't allowing CTE to be a part of the future.
Well, why I asked about the state of boxing is because if you compare the amount of money that's been put into the sport and compare it with other codes, mate, it's not even close. Like that whole infrastructure is not there. So
what boxing as a whole?
Yeah, but in terms of funding, it's barely there. The only time you really see that funding is when the government wants to pretty much send their teams off to the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games.
Oh no, we've got to give them more credit than that. I mean, Chris Minns injected a lot of money into UFC 293 in September.
But that's not grassroots boxing time.
No, you're right. But also,
it's a big difference. Big difference.
Former Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews and his sports minister paid quite a large sum of money to get Cambosis and Haney to Marvel Stadium, where there was 40,000 people.
Again, it doesn't go down to the grassroots. That goes all into the pockets of the fighters.
It doesn't.
And the promoters. So,
but because sorry, go on.
Yeah. So therefore, the investment in grassroots isn't there. So how do you produce the next best talent? It's all at the cost of the fighters and the gyms that cater these fighters.
No, I agree.
And a lot of these fighters, and a lot of these gym owners, they struggle to make these things happen. So the man's back. Let's bring him back on.
He's back in.
Yeah, he's back on. The man's back. Chuck, you back.
Boys, mate, when I talk fire. I talk facts. I get the phone got too hot, and I said I gotta cut his mic off. He's too strong.
Those blokes above you are cutting off your feed. So, Chock, we were talking about Ahmed asked you a question. I think it was about boxing.
The funding. Why isn't there the same amount of money put into the sport? What do you think?
Boxing always had a bad sort of rap, to not just the general public, but authorities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they always make it hard. We talk about concussions. I've been knocked out more times in footy than I did in boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
how many?
In footy?
Yeah.
I would have been probably unconscious about 6 times.
What, hospitalised?
No, not hospitalised. I'm too pretty for hospitals back.
Pat him on the back and get back up.
I'm going to hospital now, but see my dear brother, Nathan Merritt.
Hey, Chock, what would you say is your toughest fight in the ring ever?
My toughest fight in the ring?
Kessler?
Kessler was a tough one. But
what about Otke?
Otke was tough because I didn't have that experience. I didn't have that seasoning, but he was a good champion.
So
what about sorry, Ahmed, what about the one people want to always ask about? No, I don't want to sound like a cliche, but where does Danny Green rate amongst your opponents?
I played with him like a little boy, cuz. You see? That rate. What's wrong with you? I played with him like a little boy, son. You didn't forget, cuz. You got amnesia. You got amnesia.
Tony's got it, I reckon.
I don't know why they're dropping back. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm not going to argue the results. We all know what happened.
You know what happened? It was no contest. That's what happened.
Wow.
Are you and he on good terms?
They shouldn't have sent you in that fight. I was that easy.
Are you and Danny on good terms at the moment?
Listen, I got the utmost respect for the brother. He's a champion. He's got a young family, Archie and his daughter and that. So, mate, even though it was serious when we was competing and the rivalry was real, I respect the brother. I just pulled him up a couple of times that I thought that he was out of line when he was talking to the fans over in Adelaide. And but besides that, man, I've got nothing but respect for him. He done great for Australian boxing as well. He was one of the behind me. He's probably the next one that raised the bar for the boxing.
Well, yeah. you were sorry, Ahmed. Chuck, you had a real history of fighting your best fights when you didn't like your opponent.
Yeah, that's why I reckon my best fight is Sam Solomon too, because I did hate him. I didn't like him because he was a boxing prostitute when it came to Mundine. You know what I mean? When it came to Mundine, he was a boxing prostitute. He wanted to go into other guys' camps, Spenny Siaka, Sven Odke, and I said I want to get this cat one day because I fought him early in my career about my 7th fight, I was very green. I won, but it was a close fight, and I won. But I said, if I get this guy again, I'm going to kill him. And that's what I nearly did. When I won my second world title, WA super middleweight, when it was vacant, we were the highest ranked fighters to fight, and I wanted to kill him, and I nearly pulled it off.
Hey, Ahmed, I was ringside for that fight, and I think in the second or third round, Chock floored Sam Solomon, and I don't think he's been the same since.
Poor old Sam is struggling a bit, yeah, unfortunately. Chock, one last one from me, mate. If you could give a piece of advice to a young athlete trying to make it in the world of NRL, in the world of boxing, what would that be?
Just boys out there, don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs. Try to stay away from the ladies.
Coming from you.
But I mean, try and set goals, set dreams for yourself. Like, start implementing dreams in your head before you chase them and achieve them. Know what you want to be, know what you're passionate about. But listen, I want you to try and beat me. You won't ever do it, but at least try. Give it a crack. Like young Tavita Penguin Jr. Like, I love the brother. He was a good footballer, but he's a prop. You know what I mean? I was a Razzmatazz, 5'8", general finisher. I was a finisher, creator. I was all that. I was pretty to watch. Someone like Tavita's a prop. You know what I mean? He's not as pretty to watch as me. And even in the ring, I was the prettiest, baby. Prettiest to watch.
There you go.
I was appealing to the eye. That's why. not in a sexual way, just in a charismatic way.
Chock, one more from me. Now, you're set to appear in Channel 7's upcoming SAS Celebrity Series, which I think starts tonight on the 7 Network.
Yeah.
How did you go, and who did you have most problems with as a competitor / teammate?
I didn't have any problems with anyone. Probably 3 of the brothers that I'll probably call lifelong friends now. That's Craig McLaughlin, brother Craig. He's a Big Mac, we call him. He's a deadly brother. Me and him connected well. Peter Bowl, my Muslim brother, Peter Bowl. Alhamdulillah, we prayed together. We've done lots of stuff together, me and Pete. And Boyd Cordner, surprisingly. Brother Boyd, we just connected like a house on fire. It was a great experience, man. But it's unfortunate, bro, because it was at a time when my auntie Carey, she just got diagnosed with terminal cancer, and I committed to the show before finding that out. And then, because my mum's sister, my mum's younger sister, she married my dad's brother. So my uncles and aunties married each other. So 2 brothers got me 2 sisters. So she was like my second mum, you know what I mean? And I found out, so my head wasn't there, bro. My head wasn't there. I'm spewing because I'm very competitive. I want to win. Playing marbles with the man. You know what I mean? And I want to be the man. So my head wasn't there, bro. But I done the best I could. You know what I mean? I done my best. I brought some entertainment to the picture. Everyone tune in tonight, baby. You know, and I SAS show. It's the Mundine show. Just tune in to
Hey, so what? How did you get along well with Ackermanis?
Yeah, Acker's good too. Acker's good, but it lasted 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It lasted 2 minutes. Typical Melbourne boy, bro. Typical Melbourne boy. You know what I mean? Wow, man, 2 minutes. He wanted to bounce after the first. You know they give you stings.
Yeah.
You're like, what do they call them? Fucking stings. They sting you, and you got to do all these fucking push-ups and all that shit. After the first one, he wanted to leave after that. You fucking serious? He should be the face of 2 minute noodles. You know what I mean? Fuck me, damn.
is the most laughs we've had on this show in
Oh,
years.
Chuck, you're a classic, mate, I tell ya. This guy. All right. Unfortunately, we have to wrap things up, Chuck, mate.
My last thing, I have a last thing.
Yeah, tell me.
No matter how you slice it, dice it, fucking mix it, the man's number one athlete ever. Not at this time, not at that time, but of all time. You know what I mean? The man is number one. There's no one. I'm number one. Daylight second. Daylight third. Daylight fourth. Whoever you got number 5, you tell me. But I'm the best ever. I'll see you later. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. See you, brother.
See you, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. The man, the legend, Anthony Mundine. Wow, what a show.
Hey, not
Never
only
short of entertainment. Never
not
short
only-
of entertainment.
not only is he one of Australia's greatest athletes, he can also make people laugh.
I tell you, that's probably one of the most that's the most we've laughed on this show. But even outside the show, he's a classic.
Well, you know what? Jason Ackermanis is going to rue the day that he said that.
The face of 2-minute noodles.
Oh, that was very good. The only thing about about Anthony Mundine's interview that we've just conducted over the last 35 minutes, I wish we had been in a studio, and I'm sure we'll get him in at some stage. But also the up and down nature of the cutting in and out. That's the only.
It's all right. That's why it's called raw sport. It's raw. It's real life. This is what happens.
It is, and he was fantastic. He's got so much to say, and he's also, he's also a human rights activist. He loves his people, and he's highly religious.
He really is, and we absolutely appreciate him coming on, and thank him for taking the time out to jump on the show. Awesome. All right, everyone. We have to end it on a high, and I think Chuck's pretty much the highest of highs that we've had in a long time. Thank you, everyone.
He's sensational.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll catch you all on Wednesday, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and Friday, 10 a.m. Take care, everyone.
Thank you,
Au
Albert.
revoir.
Thank you, Anthony Mundine.